Public outrage has erupted following a viral video showing injuries allegedly inflicted on a young pupil by a teacher at a private school in Abakpa Nike, Enugu State. The incident reportedly occurred on Monday and has since triggered widespread condemnation from citizens demanding justice for the child. In the viral clip, the child's mother was seen crying and calling for the teacher to be produced, while bystanders urged her to remain calm. She claimed the school called her after the child was flogged so badly that she could no longer walk. "I want to show you people my baby's wound. Are you seeing what the teacher did to my child?" the distraught mother said through tears. As at the time of filing this report, the school and the Enugu State Ministry of Education have not issued an official response to the incident. The case has renewed debate over corporal punishment in schools and raised fresh calls for stronger child protection measures in Nigeria's education system. I don't know if you stumbled on this video.
Yeah, I did.
By any chance, I want to get your thoughts on this report.
Well, first of all, it was an appalling sight because I saw the marks on the child's leg. And it was, and it's not as a child. And,
right.
I was like, what must have caused this teacher, whom is given the responsibility of taking care of this child, to inflict this pain on this child? There are better ways to address issues. And flogging a child, are you trying to pass a message that, what message are you trying to pass? Because it's a private school. When I learned with the private schools, I was like, okay, I thought private schools have some caution against these. This therefore calls, like the end of the story says, it calls for a review of the educational system, especially in recruiting teachers.
Right.
We should be aware of like what FRSC is trying to implement now. Is it FRSC? Yes, Federal Road Safety. They're trying to inculcate mental tests into driving lessons.
Okay.
So that we get to know whom we are giving a driver's
licenses to. Yeah.
So the same way that should be incorporated into the school system. So it's not just someone who has gone to school, someone who probably I don't know if that's changed, because last time I was working in school, most of the teachers working with us were WIAC certificate holders. I'm not against that. But what I'm saying is that they should also incorporate a mental test into accessing the kind of teachers you employ into school. Because if you want to justify the fact that maybe she's passing through emotional trauma, she's passing through economic upheaval, she's passing through, there's no justification to it. This is a child. And as a teacher, you're meant to protect the child. Why inflicting such pain?
Right. You know, but on another angle of this report that comes to mind is, where do we draw the line between corporal punishment and discipline? Because if you ask the teacher, there was a teacher that did, you know, this is kind of the same action as this, abuse a child, and her reason for this is that the child, you know, bedwets.
Okay.
Where do we draw the line between discipline and training?
Like you said,
and corporal punishment?
Reason. I think where we draw the line is motive. Okay. Why are you trying to correct this thing? You don't throw away the water and the bathing water and the child away. A child does something, and my motive is not just to punish this child to inflict pain, is to let the child know that this thing you did is not right. There are ways to go about it. I mustn't flog the child because you can still flog that child in corporal punishment, and the child still does that thing second time. And there's when you flog children, they get used to the cane, they become inoculated. So they just go ahead doing that. In fact, what the cane does to them is to embolden their will to doing that thing that you wouldn't want them to do. Children nowadays I've gone beyond cane. I'm privileged to be close to children. I love children. There are children that if you shout at them, they shrink. There are some that are shouting, they're doing that same thing. There's a child I'm close to in church. They call him my son. One year. There are times when he's going somewhere, I'm calling him, he's still going. This child does not talk. Now, if I go there to go and carry him and start spanking him, what lesson? Tomorrow you still see him go down there. So I know children listen. So I tell him, Bobo, this place you're going to, I don't want you to go there. See, fire, or danger. And I find most time when he's going there, I was just watching him. When he goes there, he remember that I've told him and then come back. So the motive is the dividing line between corporal punishment and discipline. The punishment is not to inflict pain. I don't use punishment. Why you're disciplining that child is to let the child know that this thing he or she is doing is not good, and the child is better than that thing.
Right.
Not that I want to inflict. Are you drawing tattoo on the child?
Being an ex-teacher yourself now, what methodologies do you think should be introduced for discipline as opposed to the norm that many people are used to as regards, you know, many people will point back. I usually have a guest on the show that will say, when the Bible said the rod, they meant the actual rod. You know, how do we make that shift from other, you know, systemic changes as regards discipline, to discipline a child, to correct a child, to teach a child, and moving from the, you know, traditional method of the rod is the rod?
You know, what I would posit is, if you're a teacher or if you're close to children, understand each child.
Okay. Once
you understand what goes for Emeka and Nkechi, you know how to apply different measures of discipline to them. That's so, because you can't take, because you're beating Nkechi and she cries, you want to beat Emeka will change. Emeka might not, no matter walk. So first understand the child, and you have to love the child first of all. That should be the, for every teacher, for anybody who's, you must get to love the child. Because if a child you love, before you inflict such pain on that child, even if, I'm not saying spare the rod entirely, we are in African society, they will still flog. Yes, if you say keep the rod, people will still flog.
But then again, since I do agree with you that we are in an African society. Do you think that teachers should have the leverage to pick up a cane to flog a child of a parent that, you know, I bring my child to school to you healthy, whole, you know, that child looked pretty healthy to me.
Okay.
Right? And I want to pick up my child, and I'm seeing all of those cane marks. Should we really have the leverage to say we are not, because this is an African society, we are going to use the cane, or there should be, you know, other measures of discipline?
Let me create a caveat to what I said earlier. I think there should be a particular age where cane is not allowed for your child.
Okay.
Yes, let me state that, so that I won't say, because in African society, so you start flogging a 2-year-old child.
Which we have seen happen.
You start flogging a 3-year-old child because the child does something wrong. No, that school should implement their ages where you don't have, cane is not allowed. You can kneel down there, raise your hands up, close your eyes, headrest. When the child wants to play, if you do this thing, you won't go for break period for 5 minutes. When the child understands that 5 minutes is going to be taken out for his or her break period time, to an extent, to influence the child's decision. So what I would say is there should be a level where canes are not allowed. For example, crèche, pre-nursery, even nursery, and even primary, to an extent primary to primary 3, because these days we have children who are lower in age but bigger in size.
Right.
And they're in bigger classes. But you find out that they're in their classes, but they're acting like they're still in primary 1, but the women are in primary 3. So first of all, understand the child, love the child, and then there should be an age where cane is not allowed. Because even cane is not the best method to driving stubbornness from a child. Right.
Thank you so much. Now, one last question before we move to our next line of discourse. Right. When these things happen, you find out that everybody is enraged. Seeing that video, I was like, oh no, this is impossible. Why will you flog a little child like this? I'm sure that is exactly kind of the way you must have felt.
I couldn't even look at it.
You know, when you saw the same video.
The marks on the
child.
Now,
it takes about a week or less, and this is going to be thrown into trash. Do you think that, you know, our education system, and I'm talking about our security agencies, NSCDC and civil partners, do you think we should come in as a way that people get to be prosecuted for this sort of abuse to act as a deterrent to other teachers?
Before I answer the question, 2 days ago, I blogged, and there was a story I carried on, is it California or in US, of a teacher who is meant to take care of a 2-year-old child. Okay. And the child, there's no teacher. It's not teacher. It's guardian. Okay. And the person slept off, and they have Rottweilers in that place. The Rottweilers came out. You know, funny enough, that story had one of the highest traffic for that day for me, because I found out people are drawn to such stories. Now, came out and killed the child. 2 Rottweilers.
Jesus.
Before she would wake up. Before people come, the dogs were just walking around the dead body. I just couldn't read through the story. Guess what? Prosecutors came, carried her, arrested her. Why they are condoling with the family, why their messages are going on, she has already been weeks. Yes, she slept off. Maybe we can classify she slept as a human being, but and then the Rottweilers, how come, you know, those dogs are aggressive in nature. And I was shocked. And that story, I thought dogs And wild animals, some of them love children. Because I've seen videos where wild animals see the child, and instead of attacking the child, he does a restraint. But I don't know what happened. But my first is that she was arrested. She's under prosecution. Justified the fact she was sleeping, but she let her be prosecuted, first of all. Whatever measures taken on her, if it's a jail term, she's going to serve it, because a life has been lost. Exactly. And you're meant to take care of that child. The same thing should be applied to our schools. So you shouldn't just be ranting online. As someone when we were shouting out, like you just said, after a week it will go off, and these things are still happening in school. If there are mobile courts, you should be put mobile courts should be, or the NCDC or people who are in civil defense. So as something's happened, they come pick up the teacher, and she's under prosecution. Everywhere is doused, and we know she's going to pass through legal process, because according to the law, you're not convicted, or you're not declared guilty until you are convicted.
Right.
But there are evidence. But let her be arrested first, and not leave her now. Say it happen again. No. First of all, she should be arrested. That would be a major deterrent to others. So that, okay, if you do this thing, police are coming to school and pick you up, and before you say 1 or 2, you are in court defending yourself. So when such measures are put in place, it's going to caution this adverse effect of inflicting pain on children that we see in school. Because it gets me worried, because I'm not imagining my child. This is my child. Before I want to be around. The first thing I would do is to come to civil defense, and I'll get her arrested. First of all, she's arrested first, and not just get locked up. As she's arrested, get a lawyer, take you to court. You have to defend yourself, my child. I can't be paying, and most of the schools pay huge
exorbitant amounts.
And then they come and see my child, they're having marks, and you're telling me that she was stubborn. It's my child, for goodness sake, and you're paid to take care of the child. Do your job and not inflict pain on my child.